Hello guys, welcome to the studio. Today in our MPC effect series, we are going to take a quick look at the air diffuser delay effect. Let's go. Welcome back. Let's load it up first, then I'll show you how this works. If you go to your effects and you insert, you will see it under delay and reverb. Go to Air Music Technology, go to air diff delay, that is the air diffuser delay, and tap on this to edit it. Now this is what you get. As you can see, this is similar to what we covered earlier with the air delay effect. Yes, it is actually almost about the same thing, but with a twist, a little bit of steroid added to this one. So let's talk about what this actually does. The air diffuser delay effect combines a delay effect with diffusion, so it creates a spacious, ambient, and reverb-like soundscape for you. Basically, it's kind of like an alternative to your traditional reverb for adding depth and then, dimension to your sound. Now, so basically that's just what it is. It's more like a delay effect, but with a little bit of twist, and that twist is basically what you have right over here, which is diffusion. The very first episode, we covered some parameters here that might be the same as what you are going to have here as well. Talking about the time, sync, width, mix, feedback, I think the pan also. I'll put a video link here and also in the description below so you can easily go there and watch to understand in detail what these parameters are used for. Time controls when the delay comes in, the same thing with the sync, just to change it back to maybe like milliseconds or take it back to the time divisions. The width just basically adds more, kind of like it broadens the scope, while we have your mix that controls the dry and the wet mixture. That means the one that is affected upon and the one that is not affected upon, that is your original signal, which is the dry, and the one that is affected upon, which is the wet. Now talking about your feedback, basically you are trying to create a loop with the same wet signal that is coming out. You are sending it back into the delay effect again to create the feedback. Your high damp here controls the amount of high frequency attenuation that is applied to the delay repeat. So it basically just allows you to shape the overall tone and the brightness of the effect, right? And we have this low cut. Basically what it says, it helps you to cut some reasonable amount of low frequency from the signal, that is the wet signal, panning either to the left or to the right of your speakers as you would. What we're going to do, like we always do, will be to take everything down, then we'll play a sample and apply them one by one so that you can actually hear by yourself what they do and how they can affect each of those signals. Then you'll be able to know how best to apply it in your own mix. So let's quickly do that right away. Turning all this down, high damp, low cut, feedback, this width, this mix. So you can hear the original first, then we bring in the wet signal. So what does diffusion do? It basically just blurs and softens the delay repeat, simulating that reflection in a physical space. And that will help you to create a more natural and immersive sound. So it's kind of like different from what you get when you are doing just delay or when you are doing just echo. This now gives you the feeling of, oh, you are in a space. Yep, that's what you have. Now, let me play it again and just bring in the wet signal. You can see it came in a bit late because the delay was actually applied. Now let's work on the width. You can sense a little bit of spread. Might not be that obvious because of the volume level, but you hear a little bit of spread. Pan once and for all. To the left, to the right. Now, I like to use feedback. That sudden cutoff at the very end, the feedback will help you to extend that and soften it. Let's try that. Can hear that? Compared to sudden stop. But here this on 50. Now, I'll take this down and I'll bring up the high damp. This will basically affect the attenuation that is applied to the high frequency. So it will tell you either to let it be more or less. Right now, this is preserving the original high that comes with that particular effect. But then if you increase it, it becomes thinner. Compared to this. Now, so basically damping is not really wet, it's just dampening it, like it's adding a little bit more to it. Let's take this back. Now, the low cut. What you have here right now, you are hearing the exact low from your original signal. Now, let us cut more. The more you increase it, you are cutting the low. You are getting a thinner signal out. So taking it back returns the low. So if you want to preserve the low that is coming with the delay effect, then you need to leave this on. But if you want to take away a little bit of it, depending on the kind of music you're working on, or you want to take away more of the low, well, that's when you increase the low cut. Now we'll go to the diffusion, right? What you've been hearing right now is the same thing that you can get from your air delay. But now, I'll take it to 100. You see that? It gives you that, oh, maybe this is a hall kind of setting or a roomy kind of setting. Everything keeps bouncing back, right? Without having to use the feedback. So that's what you get when you use diffusion. So just like I said earlier, basically what it does is just blurs and, you know, it softens the delay repeat. And this might just be very, very useful for you. If you don't want to use the default repeat that everyone else is using, it might be a better option for you to just stick with, you know what, let me focus on diffuser delay and just diffuse that particular echo or the effect a little bit, and let me get what it's going to give me. One thing to note though, if you are using diffuser delay and you want to automate, you can automate virtually every other thing here and it will work perfectly well for you, but you might not be able to automate your diffusion. The reason is simple. Because it is active while it is being engaged, it will create a kind of like a breaking when you automate it. So even from when you turn it, if it's playing, you can tell. Let's do that. Let me show you something. You hear that? As you can see, what you heard initially that was breaking was not the actual design. It was just the plugin trying to figure out where exactly are you on the dial. Let me adjust to that and diffuse proportionally. But if you're using any other one, you notice that you don't get to feel that breaking. That can be processed while you tune the dial. So all those ones you can easily automate. But for diffusion, if you automate it, you are going to hear the same thing. It's going to crack or break like that. So it is important that you note that and do not try to automate your diffusion. Just set it at a little bit of where you want it to be and you keep it that way. Also, diffuser delay, just like the air delay, is one of those effects I like to also use a lot at the return level. I go to my return, I put it there, then I can send from my sub mix, I can send it to the return and then have some come back from the diffuser delay or the delay effect in itself. And the reason is simple. Most of the time when I do this kind of setting, I want it to be unique across the entire project. So that way I can send what I need to send to it, and then I know I'm getting the same feel back. Not that each time I'm using it for a drum or maybe like a bass, or even if it's vocal, then I have to go and start tuning it differently. I have to go and, no, I just put it there once and then I do my settings correctly based on how I want it. Then I can send a signal to it and return it back. So that's all for now as far as your air diffuser delay effect is concerned. Take your time to practice. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. We'll see you in the next one.